recently announced game. We've got Ratchet & Clank Quest for Booty.
That's right, Ratchet & Clank Future Quest for Booty.
Yeah.
It's a standalone game available on the PlayStation Network this summer, and it doesn't require any other Ratchet & Clank games to play it, so you can just download it and play it. If you're a big fan of Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction, it's a continuation of that story, but for people who are new to the series, they will also get caught up on the story, and it'll be a great experience for them too. So it's a great introduction for new folks and a great continuation of the saga for fans.
You know, when I first heard this, we just saw this game announced at the Sony press conference just a few hours ago. And when I first heard it was going to do a Ratchet game on download, I thought it was just going to be like a simplistic little game. But this is actually a full-fledged, visually it's a full-fledged Ratchet & Clank Future game, right?
That's right. It's got all the AAA high-quality production values that you would expect from a Ratchet & Clank PlayStation 3 game, but it's in a much smaller package at a much lower price point.
Yeah, that's great. So set up the story for me. Where are we in this preview version that we're looking at, and what's the story of the game?
Sure. Well, as most people hopefully know,
Yeah.
at the end of Tools of Destruction, Clank disappeared. And so now Ratchet and his friend Talwyn is on the trail to find him. And they learn that there's this old pirate captain named Darkwater who knows of the location of the Zoni region in space where Clank is held captive. So Ratchet is on his trail, and they later learn that Darkwater has died.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of pirates involved, pirate battles, and we've also added some new gameplay.
Okay.
Ratchet has this new ability where he can use his wrench, and he can pop the head off of it. It's got this Tesla energy cable, and he can latch onto things and manipulate stuff. So this adds kind of a new layer to platforming.
And that's something you find throughout the course of the game? Do you start off with it?
You start off with it.
Okay.
At the very beginning, there's a great pirate battle, and then Ratchet gets washed ashore on this island where he has to use his wits to get through it. So he gets to run around, talk to various NPC characters. We've got these light RPG elements where he can run around the town, find out information, and learn about Captain Darkwater.
I'm sort of chuckling at this cutscene. The sense of humor is still intact here.
Absolutely, yeah. We got the same Ratchet & Clank brand of humor. Rusty Pete from Tools of Destruction comes back, and he's carrying the head of his old pirate captain Slag.
Right.
And he desperately wants to bring his captain back to life.
Yeah.
So the game starts out with a swashbuckling bang where Ratchet fights pirates on these two ships, and he gets to keep some of the weapons he had from the prior game. So players will get to have a huge arsenal of weapons at the very beginning, and they get to fight alongside Talwyn. And so we have a lot more ambient and atmospheric effects in this game. We've got lightning crashes, we've got cool smoke and fog, and even some scary moments too for players.
It looks like the interface is pretty similar to Ratchet & Clank Future. Have the controls changed at all, or would it be very similar?
It's very similar.
Okay.
So we're keeping the same intuitive controls, and the one addition is that when you throw the wrench, this time the wrench extends with an energy tether, and you can latch onto things.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, Jody, I know people probably have some questions about this game. Maybe you could hook us up with a few questions.
Sure. Alexander from Moscow would like to know if you could describe some of the gadgets and more in detail in the weapon.
Sure. The big emphasis is on the wrench right now and how you can use this wrench in different ways. So we've got these lava rocks that you can pick up, and you can throw them to blow open things. You can use these lava rocks also while you're on the grind rail. So we've got some new strategic gameplay with the wrench, where you have to kind of think fast while you're on the grind rail. It's not just the simple hop on and ride and jump a few hoops. We also have a light dark gameplay where you can pick up these creatures called the heliogrubs, and they help light your way through these very dark tunnels. You can throw them to scare away various nasty creatures.
It looks like we moved to a new level here. Where are we in this part of the game?
Well, what happened was Ratchet got shot out of a cannon from a pirate ship, and he's been washed ashore on Hulafar Island. And so now he has to find his way off this island, and this is where he'll have to use his new wrench tether ability. So what happened here was he lost his weapons in the ocean, and he's just must use his wits to figure out where to go next. And what's really great about this island is, even though once we get past this opening section, the whole island opens up, and you can run around and explore anywhere. Typically with the Ratchet and Clank games, you're on this very narrow path, you're just clearing wave after wave of enemies, and you don't have a lot of choice on where to go. So here is the introduction to the island, where we see from the lagoon this tropical island paradise with lots of windmills. And we've got these NPCs that you can talk to, and they're really only on this island, but you can get a little bit of information. James gets to do a wise crack here with the crotchetizer salesman remark. Yeah. And when he tells them that he's a crotchetizer salesman, all the characters actually start commenting, "Oh, that must be the crotchetizer salesman."
Of course. Whenever you hear a crotchetizer salesman come to town, you pay attention.
Oh, yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So the one thing I noticed, you mentioned the sort of the rail sliding. A lot of classic gameplay types from the Ratchet series are in this version of the game as well, right?
Yeah, we've brought back some classic gameplay, but we really wanted to put a twist on it. So an example of the rail sliding with the pick up and throw mechanic mixes that up a bit.